Hello gamers, this is Sai, and welcome back to Which Way Games. Now what's green? An unstoppable force of nature.
And I will not be bullied by that.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video.
In the world of gaming, there are those games that push gamers to their limits and beyond, usually with high difficulty spikes, unforgiving level design, and bosses that make demons look like fluffy kittens.
Although there are some games that cause gamers to rage quit or even break their controllers in half.
For example, the Dark Souls series is renowned for eating up new gamers, whereas Ghosts and Goblins forces gamers to play the game twice in order to complete it. And even the 9th installment of the Mega Man series will have gamers visiting the hospital with aching thumbs.
Now, one thing that all these games have in common, apart from the fact of making gamers die over and over, is the notoriety of being a difficult game. But of course, that only adds to the fun factor.
Obviously, some gamers get excited about playing a brand new game and the hours of fun it will bring, while others will purposely select that harder difficulty setting in order to test their gaming ability. However, there's one game from the world of 8-bit that provides all of what I've mentioned and more.
This would be Battletoads, a side-scrolling beat-em-up that offers a wide variety of gameplay. But before I carry on, let's go back to where it all started.
In the early 90s, the world was going crazy for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 4 anthropomorphic turtles trained as ninjas, dealing with multiple enemies, including the legendary Foot Clan and their leader, the Shredder.
When the evil Shredder attacks!
One game developer called Rare wanted to create a series in response to Turtle Mania taking over the planet, and so came up with the idea of the Battletoads.
There is an episode of the Turtles cartoon where the heroes in the half-shell meet 4 mutant frogs. Perhaps this was the basis for the Battletoads.
Now, Rare have always been known to take what's popular and put their own spin on it, but to distinguish itself away from the Turtles and the various games released at the time, Rare introduced extra game mechanics for Battletoads, which I'll come back to later. Throughout development, the game went through several changes, including a working title of amphibians, and a brief touch with Disney-inspired games. But luckily for gamers, Battletoads became more violent based and the name of amphibians was dropped, which in a roundabout way was actually the best move that Rare could have done. Could gamers imagine playing a cute version of the Battletoads where all the enemies end up becoming friends? And with this, at the beginning of June 1991, Battletoads kicked and punched its way onto the NES for gamers to enjoy.
And of course, like always, let's go back to the past to see how Battletoads was advertised.
It's just video game review!
So, okay, last week Harley and I reviewed Ultra Enviroman. Whack to the curb. It has got to go. So today, we're gonna take a look at Battletoads. Rocket! That it is, I mean, they got Psycho Pigs and Turbo Thwacking. And with kick fighting, surfing, babe saving, how can you go wrong? Your kid's a freak for Battletoads and these other games from Trade West, Nintendo Entertainment, or Game Boy systems required.
The story of Battletoads begins deep within the outer reaches of the universe. A spacecraft known as the Vulture is on a return mission with some important cargo on board. The Princess Angelica is being escorted back to her home planet by Professor T-Bird and the 3 Battletoads known as Rash, Zitz and Pimple. To ease up the boredom of intergalactic space travel, Pimple decides to treat Princess Angelica to some fun as they just happen to be passing a star nebula. The pair take Pimple's flying car, but are ambushed and captured by the Gargantua, a huge spaceship belonging to the evil but beautiful Dark Queen. As the Gargantua flies off to a nearby planet, Pimple manages to send out a distress signal to the Vulture, alerting the Professor and the other Battletoads. They learn that the planet called Ragnarok's is the last known whereabouts of the Gargantua and head to the surface on a rescue mission.
Gameplay has gamers controlling the Battletoads as they kick and punch their way to victory in this fantastic side-scrolling beat 'em up from game developer Rare.
Starting out, gamers are treated to a brief intro before the adventure begins, but unlike other side-scrolling beat 'em ups, Battletoad brings a variety of different gameplay styles to the table, these being racing, climbing and vehicle-based obstacle courses.
Obviously, all gamers are aware of the turbo tunnel that has taken up many lives and continues, but if gamers persevere, they can either beat this stage, or if they're very clever, they can figure out where the warp zone is.
Each of these stages have a wide array of environmental hazards that gamers must avoid while attacking enemies with a barrage of punches and kicks. As the Battletoads defeat enemies, parts of their bodies change into all manners of bizarre extremities, such as enlarged fists punching like Rocky, horns that are used while headbutting, and massive boots kicking enemies off the stage.
Now that does remind me of Duke Nukem's Mighty Boot.
Gamers will find themselves dealing with a number of different enemies, each getting bigger and uglier as the game progresses, with enemies such as huge rats, raging bulls, and even some dark creatures from beyond, before a final showdown with the end boss. Now if gamers have selected the right mode, they can either play co-op with no consequences if player 2 gets attacked. But for those that want to have fun and a bit of a laugh, selecting the other mode not only makes the game a lot harder, but that much more fun.
When released, Battletoads was met positively with gamers and critics, both liking the graphics and the overall gameplay. But of course, the high difficulty was part of the main focus with reviews and almost put gamers off playing this fantastic game.
Battletoads enticed gamers who were looking for something different when it came to gaming. Gamers loved the graphics, the in-your-face attitude, as well as the consistent and violent ways of disposing enemies.
Not as violent as the Punisher for the PlayStation 2, a fun game that I'll come back to in the future.
Now the different gameplay styles found within Battletoads doesn't allow gamers to become bored, creating a diversity that some other games lacked, as well as providing several ways to keep gamers on their toes. Over the course of each game release starring the Battletoads, gamers started to point out the similarities between the Toads and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who was better, who was faster, and ultimately who was stronger. And being a bit of a Turtles fan myself, I know where my loyalties lay, although the Battletoads come in a close second.
And very much like the heroes in the half shell, Battletoads even had a cartoon. A cartoon? No? Nothing? Hey. Oh God! Did you say cartoon? Yeah, I did. How long have you been sitting there for? Oh, the whole time, although you've ignored me. Quite rude, actually. Right, well, here's your chance to finally talk about a cartoon, but make it quick. Which cartoon? Battletoads. Oh, that's a blast from the past.
The Battletoads cartoon was made at the height of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles craze, and was a prequel to the video games. The plot has 3 high school students that are granted the ability to transform into the mighty Battletoads, and will go on to fight crime, as well as protect Princess Angelica from the Dark Queen. With a Saturday morning cartoon show, gamers would come to learn the different catchphrases of the Battletoads. Now Battletoads is a relic of the 90s, which looking back is bizarre to experience again, and although it's easy to watch, the animation isn't as good as a certain cartoon starring the heroes in a half shell. Battletoads is enjoyable to watch, but aimed more at a younger audience and fans of the video game.
Oh, you're done, that was quick. Now where did he go? I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
Over the years, there have been a couple of sequels to Battletoads which improved on the original concepts, but kept the main focus of gore and over-the-top fighting. With games available on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Mega Drive, each putting their own spin on the adventures of the Toads. There was even a crossover with the brothers from Double Dragon, who teamed up with the Battletoads to continue with the non-stop violence to save the day. And of course, there was even an arcade version of Battletoads, which is regarded as one of the best beat-em-ups, starring green anthropomorphic toads.
I do remember playing the arcade version of Battletoads in a different arcade that I found after my original one burnt down, but that's for part 2 of Arcade Memories.
Overall, Battletoads is an addictive yet fun game to play, especially if gamers can deal with huge difficulty spikes. The experience of playing co-op with a fellow gamer is familiar territory for all gamers. But the diversity of gameplay available puts Battletoad up there with some of the games that all gamers should play at least once. There is nothing more fun than playing on the mode that allows gamers to harm one another, which does provide some memorable moments as well as a few laughs. Perhaps in time, a crossover could happen with the heroes of Streets of Rage, the brothers from Double Dragon once again, or maybe the 4 heroes in the half shell will team up with the Battletoads to save the universe from the combined forces of Krang and the Dark Queen.
Anyway, come back next time. We're a galactic law enforcement team on a mission to stop the evil Mizar from taking over the planet. Can this trio do this in time and save all the tribals? Thank you so much for watching and see you next game.
We'll be right back.